What's the biggest difference, Red, in this year's team? Obviously, Judah's gone. We know that. But it looks like on paper, and everything for us is on paper at this point until we see it, right?
Right.
But it looks like there's more balance. There's probably more depth, overall talent. Yes?
Yes, I 100%. I think we are a more balanced team. I think we've been able to add more shooters. I think we've been able to get an inside presence. We've gotten bigger inside, and obviously, I think the biggest thing is being able to have a point guard that is looking to get people, involved. Again, it's all types of different point guards in today's game, but I think this year, being able to have the addition of Jaquan Carlos will be huge for our program.
I looked after doing the Louisville game last year. I saw some of the other guys play really well. One of my favorite players coming back this year is Chris Bell. I think he's one of the I think he's the best pure shooter in this conference, and just the ability to do it off the move, the length to see over the top. He plays with great balance. What have we seen from him this summer? I think he's one of the guys that we aren't talking enough about.
Yeah, the one thing about Chris has done a great job this summer of kind of rounding his game out. Mm-hmm. We've really talked about not only shooting, but being able to, move without the ball, cut, get rim twos. He's gotten stronger. He's really made a conscious effort of getting stronger and being comfortable with the ball. The way we want to play. We want to play fast, and he has to have the ability to get an outlet and push it up and make a decision. So we've worked with him a lot on those things this year, just kind of really rounding out his game. And it's funny, we track a lot, and, he finished the summer, again, I don't know how, but he shot 82% from three in movement. He's gotten
those
better.
Are real numbers?
Yeah, real numbers.
Man.
So again, not a lot of shots, but when he got those looks, he knocked them down. So I think he's increased his consistency, but overall, he's done a good job of rounding out his game.
Is Chance Westry healthy? How's he doing?
Chance Westry is healthy. It took him some time to adjust. He really was hitting his stride during the last 2 weeks of the summer. Mm-hmm. And then when we came back, he had a little illness, nothing serious, and he'll be back. But we're excited about him because he also gives you another guy that can make plays and can see the game and get people the ball. And he's improved his shooting. Obviously, it's going to take him some time to get back into rhythm.
Mm-hmm. Coach, there's a lot of excitement, and rightly so, around your freshman, Donnie Freeman. What specifically is it about him, the player about him, the person that makes him unique that you're noticing?
I think obviously the measurables and how he finished up high school, but he's still, we're catching him in this ascending, and his eyes are still big and his ears are still open. I think the biggest thing is coachability. I love the fact that he's all in, and you talk to him about something, and you address something, and he locks right in and he does it. And so I love that fact, and and he's a worker. The one thing about it is, he's a guy that, he initiates his own work ethic. He doesn't need someone to pull him in. He's always in it, and he's always trying to get better. I think our job is to take the pressure off of him with all the hoopla around him, and I think he's doing a really good job of it. And I love the fact that we have older guys, guys like Eddie Lampkin, Jair Davis. Those guys are kind of putting him under his wing and showing him. So I'm excited about him. I mean, just as talented as anyone that we've ever had as a freshman coming in our program. I mean, some of the stuff that he can do.
That's high praise.
It is. I mean, again, the ability is there. A guy that you're talking about, I think he's grown since he's been on campus. A guy that can shoot the ball, a guy that can put it on the floor, making reads. We're just, excited of where he can be and how he's going to be able to help us moving forward.
All right. How many practices was Boeheim at last year? That's what I want to know. How many did he show up at?
Listen, he was at every practice. The question is, how long did he stay?
I know those guys, they don't really want to be there anymore. I remember talking to Jay Wright, and Jay Wright's like, I go to a Villanova practice, and after 5 minutes, I want to leave, but I can't. I feel like the obligation.
He waits to the water break.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Then he tries to sneak out.
Yeah,
right?
He waits to the water break. Oh, yeah. No, he comes. He comes pretty frequently, which is expected, and I love him. Yeah. I love when he comes. This year, he's starting to slow down a little bit more, but he's still popular.
Yeah, as it gets further and further away,
yeah.
I think they don't feel, I mean, again, my guess is, Julie probably wants to, get him away a little bit too, right? Enjoy life after retirement.
Yeah, I tell him that too, but this is his life. He's been doing it for so long, and again, I love him being there, and he doesn't give me advice until 2 days later. And,
it's probably good.
Is that the rule?
The emotion's gone.
Hey, is that the rule?
Yeah, no, he'll come in and he'll say, I was watching the other day, and I think, but not a lot though.
Give me the funniest story, if there was one last year, with interactions with you and him.
So coach is a coach, no matter what, and we honored Coach. Jim Boeheim Day, and we had played Notre Dame, and we jumped out to a big lead, and they came back and fought back. That was that stretch where they had, they kind of had it going.
Yeah.
They were playing great, and tooth and nail game going back and forth, and so at the end of the game we honor them, and I'm holding his jersey up, and I'm giving him a plaque. I'm giving it to him. And as I'm giving it to him, they're talking about it. He's talking about the game. And I'm like, hot mic.
No way. No, come on.
Yeah,
Take the flag.
Take the flag. Come on, let's go. So I'm like, oh my God. Obviously, when coach is coach talking. Like, I'm like,
So
I know,
good.
Coach. Yeah, that was probably the last one that really.
There'll be more. Red, there'll be more. Trust me.
I was laughing and sweating at the same time. Like, oh my God.
Like, what's he saying? Right.
I mean, again, I was frustrated as well too, but I was like, all right.
After being an assistant for a long time, last year one, what's the biggest takeaway from year one? Because everybody talks about your first year as a head coach and all the responsibility that's thrust upon you. What was the biggest takeaway for you after year one, really?
I think conviction in my whys. I think every coach, every person, we all have our whys of why we do something, right?
Sure.
And for me, it was really more conviction of my whys of, all the way up from basketball-related situations, even down to my program.
Sure.
All of just the conviction of whys, of why I want to do something or why I chose to do this. I think that really probably resonated with me more. And some of my whys kind of went down, on my chart. Some of the things wasn't as important as I thought they were, right? And some went way up to the top. So again, we, as a coach, I'm always listening and trying to learn and trying to get better, from greats. We got great coaches in our game, and I think as me being a young coach, I try to learn from them, and you hear people say stuff over and over again, and a lot of that stuff started making sense. You listen to the obviously Jay Wright, Coach Boeheim, the Batinos, they say stuff. If you follow them, Tony Bennett, they say stuff, and you're like, ah. But then, for me, after that first year, a lot of those things started to say, oh, I get that now. I understand that a little bit more now.
How much GW basketball are you going to watch this year?
A ton, every game. I'm part of Coach Caputo's staff.
For people that are watching, his son plays sophomore at GW this year, right?
Going into sophomore year, yeah.
How do you critique him after games? Like, do you call him after games, or is that something where it's like you got to give him a little time to cool off? You got to be dad more than coach.
Yeah. Mama does that.
Mama does a critique.
Oh, Mama does the critiquing.
She's tough?
No, she's tough, man. She's tough. She's tough.
She tough on you?
She's tough on me too, man. She knows after the game, leave me alone. Leave me alone. But I typically talk to him. I try not to talk to him until a day after, and it's really just about listening to him. Again, I don't want to be. I don't want to coach him. I've never coached him. He has coaches, right? And I don't know what they are talking about. So anything I can say, I'm just saying it from a dash perspective, no matter what if you're a coach or not. But I do coach him as far as being able to be coachable, and whatever it is, the only thing that can make it right is the work. Is the work and the attitude and the approach, and that's probably about as much coaching as I do for him.
Smart.
Red, we have to let you go. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate you.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Good seeing you guys.
And we will have Chris Bell and JJ Starling, a couple of stars coming up here in just mere moments. I think, Tio, That's